A long time ago, in a faraway part of the galaxy, there existed a race of alien cat people called the Felinari. They were explorers that traveled all over the galaxy. This is the story of the crew from a ship called Whiskerwind. Episode 1. The Whisper from Sol. By Just Bored Cat. One day, while traveling to their next scheduled stop, the crew of the Whiskerwind picked up a faint transmission. Their instruments indicated that the signal was coming from an uncharted region of the galaxy. After much deliberation, the captain of the ship decided to divert from their course and investigate the source of the transmission. As they approached the coordinates from which the signal had originated, the Felinari were puzzled to discover that it was coming from the Sol system, and more specifically from the third planet. At first, the crew was skeptical. The captain had not heard of any technological civilization in this region. Detailed scan revealed the technology was so primitive that it was barely detectable from light years away. The captain, now faced with the reality of the situation, he knew that they had no choice but to proceed with caution. As they further scanned the planet, their instruments detected signs of life. Lots of it. There were also signs of technology, but it was barely registering on their scanners. From what they could gather, the dominant species on this planet seemed to be some kind of hairless ape. They were social creatures who lived in large groups and had developed tools to hunt and gather food. After accessing the information network of the planet, the Felinari found that the planet is called Earth, and the creatures were called humans. They were the reason for the transmission. Ouch. But at this point, they were still not ready for contact. Earth was a dangerous place, and the Felinari were not willing to risk their advanced technology, or worse, expose their very existence to the humans. Just as the Felinari were about to leave, one of the crew, a young and curious Felinari named Mittens, couldn't help but continue scanning the planet. She was fascinated by the human species and wanted to learn more about them. As she scanned their settlements, she noticed something that made her stop in her tracks. On her scanners, amidst the readings of the human settlements, she saw another life form. At first, she thought it was a mistake, but as she continued to focus on the readings, she realized that there was a species on this planet that was very similar to them. A species that had the same body shape, the same fur patterns, and even the same eye color as the Felinari. Could it be possible that there were other Felinari people out there? And if so, why had the humans not detected them? Or perhaps even better, what if these creatures were actually the source of the transmission? Mittens excitedly reported her findings to the rest of the crew. The Felinari were stunned. They had been searching for other intelligent life in the universe for years and had never found anything that resembled them even remotely. To think that there might actually be another race of like them out there was almost unbelievable. The captain of the ship, after much thought, decided to make one small detour in their schedule. He would pretend that they were just passing through the Sol system, and that this was just another stop on their interstellar journey. No one would ever know. While the captain pretended to be busy charting the star systems around Earth, Mittens and the rest of the crew began scanning the planet for signs of the mysterious species. They soon discovered that these creatures lived all over the planet, and that they were called felis catus, or cats. They also learned that humans had domesticated them thousands of years ago, and that they were kept as pets in their settlements. The Felinari were shocked. It was incredible to think that a species so similar to them could exist on a planet so far away from their own. And so the Felinari decided to stay on Earth for a little longer. They positioned their spaceship behind the moon, undetected. A select crew were sent out to explore the planet and its inhabitants. They were amazed by the diversity of life on Earth, and by the ingenuity of the human species. But most of all, they were fascinated by the domestic cats. These creatures were so much like them in behavior, in communication, and even in their love of fish. After a few reports and days of observing the humans and their cats, the Felinari were ready to depart Earth, Sol 3. But as they are getting ready to jump to warp, the captain received instructions for an extended observation of Earth. Like and subscribe to continue.